Now earlier, Martina Bugu reported of transportation challenges in some areas of the proposed Savannah region. A voting officer had carried the ballot box on her head to the center. Take a listen.
And like the area that is supposed to take the studies in the exercise, by then the actual place that you're supposed to put the name stand for, or when everybody is in the exercise, you have to find your means to that particular place.
Now,
so that is it.
How has it been a challenge to you, considering the number of hours?
Now I'm supposed to be where I work. I'm supposed to start my work. But because of the transportation, I have to wait over and over. If not because of my brother even met me to pick me, by now, I strongly believe I should be there, still waiting for a means to go, and which I have to use my own money to pay to send me to where I'm supposed to go.
We have a lot of communities around here, and the fact that how the people get to that place is a problem. So I'm now looking at how to, get means and let them go to that communities.
Is that normally the case?
Yes, that's the case. Even all the votes that we normally vote, that the challenges that we normally face.
Your name, sir?
I'm Suleiman Abalashima, Assessment for International Yapie Electoral area.
Martina joins us live from Buipe. Martina, has the transportation situation been solved?
With the EC officials, yes, they've been able to mobilize transportation for those who needed to go into the hinterland, and they are all gone. But there's transportation crisis in the town itself because most people want to travel outside to their communities and vote, and there's no transport. And so you find a lot of people at the bus terminal waiting for any transport that will come their way. They are stopping vehicles that are coming from Accra, Kumasi, and down south towards up north. And so communities dotted around these areas are all waiting patiently here, hoping that they would get means to travel and go and vote.
So this is affecting more of the voters than the electoral materials and the officials?
Yes, initially the EC had a problem, but that has been sorted out, I'm told. I spoke to the EC director here. He says that those who were having challenges transporting probably might have come late because they had made arrangements for vehicles. But the people I spoke to said it is a routine that happens anytime there's election.
So from what you're picking, since this transportation issue is affecting voters more, how is turnout so far?
But I might say that in all, turnout has been impressive here. I went to about 6-7 polling centers, and I must say that they have had massive turnout. The last one I just visited a while ago is Bonrasi, and they have about 558 voters, but so far 150 have voted in just about 2 or 3 hours. And so they are expecting that by the time they would close, they probably will have almost everybody voted.
Thanks, Martina. We'll come back to you during the day. Let's now go to Ohiming Teria, who is in the Bunu East Enclave.
What's your name?
My name is Benin Zachary.
When did you arrive here?
I got here around 6 a.m.
How important is this referendum to you and other potential voters who are in this queue?
It is very, very important because looking at our regional capital, that is Sunyani currently, very far from us. So we wish we have this regional capital that is closer to us so that we can get other developmental projects here.
In terms of development, how was today's activity, the exercise that you are participating in, the voting, the referendum, affect development, especially in the Sini West District?
Yeah, development actually, if you look at Sini West District now, it's very far from Sunyani. So we are hoping that when a new region is created, wherever the regional capital is located, it will get closer to us, and the leaders will pay attention to Sini District.
I see that has been Mr. Zachary, a voter who has been in the queue since 6 a.m. with the hope that he votes and to promote development in this particular area. Yeah. anopai mame how kakra say wudi santimu ina afem pokura na fache me say utwutwu sen
sa
adenti na wudi amerika abaha sa abiri mpo a sebe nka meka say wantene fie mpo antwutwu sen enwie
yo rampa cho minya wo man no enentu kese na me man no eyeye ende yenu ma bebre akachi ya pese ekosoro ntina ma awei mu ma ba begina hanom
na die titiru na opese saaba wutue de bebre wo ewo ha waka se wo hia anantu kase sebe we ye bebukasa ntoma bebu na obu ye de poti na opese ekoso wo mantam ha nti a ugina awei mu na wo pause nyina
owura mpa cho ende ye mani adwumaye bebre awie school ende omukuta enso sabe nkemfa tate ebansa nti say ye boa ma aba no eye nkoso a na ye man no so ayeye na abanya di ye moa nti na ma migina weyimu.
It's been a wonderful experience speaking to my mother here. Mama, come this way and let me speak to you here. She says yes, she left home early in the morning to take part in today's referendum with one thing in mind, just to see this particular area develop. It tells me a story of how some of the youth who have completed school are still at home and without work. So she believes that once she takes part in today's referendum, it's going to promote development in his locality, and beyond that also, bring about the needed employment to the unemployed youth who are home at the moment. Mami, she say, Sadia, ye no wahi, who ani so I who say a bebe musa.
Pacha, me jitu, sabi biya be.
All right, she is very hopeful that her struggles will not go in vain. Definitely, she will get something out of it, and that is promoting development in her locality. So let's see. It's been a wonderful experience this morning speaking to voters at Bantama. This is not Kumasi Bantama, but Bantama in the Sene West district of the Bono Ahafo region, and this is the proposed Bono East region. If the voters' enthusiasm is anything to go by, then what it means is that after today, definitely they are hoping to have a new region, and that is the Bono East region. So don't be surprised that we wake up tomorrow to hear that this part of the Bono Ahafo region is no more Bono Ahafo, but Bono East, as the voters are so energized to take part in today's exercise.
We'll stay with this story because 11 municipalities and districts would be voting to endorse the new region or reject it in a yes or no referendum. At least 55,000 registered voters will vote from the 154 polling centers in the Atebubu Amanting municipality alone. Deputy Regional Director of the Electoral Commission, Charles Damwa, tells my colleague, Ohiming Teria, electoral materials are ready for dispatch to the various polling centers.
What you are seeing behind me can testify that we are set for tomorrow. We have done all the necessary things that will help us conduct this referendum very well. We recruited our polling staff, as many as 4 to a polling station and 87 polling stations. So we have got 87 polling stations, and each polling station takes 4 people: the presiding officer, the verification officer, the name reference list officer, and the ballot issuer. They will man the polling station, and we have trained all of them very well. And all the materials that are supposed to be used for the elections have been received from the regional office, and we are sharing them into their various ballot boxes ready for tomorrow. Yeah, so we are fully ready.
Now, the Techiman Islamic polling station, a 70-year-old Abdullah Husseini is unhappy that his name cannot be traced in the register, though he has been voting as the same polling center for the past 40 years. He feels omitting his name from the register could mean he's a stranger in the area, and that is worrying to him. Abdallah Hussaini insists he is not going home until he is allowed to vote yes for the Bono East region. Anas Sabit has been speaking to him and joins us with some updates. Anas, have they allowed Abdallah Hussaini to vote?
No, please, not yet. And the sad news about Abdallah Hussaini's case is he told me he has not been well for some time now. Even during the time when we asked voters to go and check their name, the exhibition, he was not well, and that's why he couldn't go to check his name. So he allowed his grandchild to bring him to the polling station, even though he's not feeling well, only to meet the situation where they told him they cannot place his name in the register. As I speak to you now, he has found a chair where he has stationed himself there, staying, leaving the center until he's allowed to vote. The officers are saying they will take their time when the queue is a bit, when they are about a bit free, to check from A to B to see if there is maybe a spelling or something like that, to make sure that they trace his name. Once he said he's been voting there for 40 years, they will do their possible best to see if the name could be traced in the register. To him, if they do not allow him to vote, it could mean he is a stranger in the area, especially when a new region is going to be created. He wants to be part of this history, so it's not leaving until he's allowed to vote.
So, Anas, before we move on, the response that you've been telling us from the EC officials is that they will look through their books again to see if maybe there was a typo with his name.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I have encountered a few cases where someone, for instance, is called Ubaida Alasan. Ubaida, she spells it U-B-A-I-D-A, but unfortunately they spelled it O-B, and so they have to check and
make sure that it's not a typo.
Yes.
Have you seen Mr. Hussaini's voter ID card?
Yes. He showed it to me, and it is true that there's the same polling station number where he is currently.
As far as we can see, at least. Okay, how about the people in the area? Have they also confirmed that this is a man who lives in the area and has indeed been voting at that polling center for years?
The polling officials, each polling station has people who have been agents for those various polling stations for some years now. Almost all of them tell me this is where he votes, and that is why even they are saying they will make sure they will help the EC officials to trace the name, and they provided the man with a chair to sit, and they pleaded on him to give them a bit time. They will assist him and then make sure his name is traced in the register.
Thank you, Anna Sabit, for those details that you brought us there from the specific story of Abdallah Hussaini. Yesterday, we brought you these details of what exactly is happening today. And for a bit of background, let's refresh our minds once again. These elections are going to take place in 6 areas. So the proposed new number of regions are 6. 2 to come out of the Brongahafu regions, 2 as well out of the northern region, and 1 each from the Volta and Western regions. These are some timelines. On the 17th of October last year, 2017, President Akufo-Addo inaugurated the Commission of Inquiry, and on the 26th of June 2018, that is this year, the Commission, the Justice Brobe Commission, presented their reports to the presidency. Next, we're going to see which persons were on the commission. Like I said, it was called the Justice Brobe Commission. So Justice S.A. Brobe, who is a retired Supreme Court Justice, chaired it. A number of key personalities on there. Dr. Grace Bediako, former government statistician, Maulvi Mohammed Bin Saleh, Amir Missionary in Charge, Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission Ghana, Professor Kwesi Kwafo Adakwa, former Vice Chancellor for KNUST, and a number of other individuals were on this committee. We're going to take you through some of the other names shortly. There's also Mrs. Gladys Tete, Dr. David Isao, a number of other persons. The Prof. George also there. He's a lecturer at the Institute for Statistical, Social and Economic Research, ISE, and the Director for Center for Urban Management Studies at the University of Ghana. Of course, there's a wide range of individuals who were selected for this commission. What they did was they went across the country, brought their personal experience to bear, all needed in evaluating the exact need for the creation of these news districts. Of course, their job was to recommend a referendum or not in these areas where petitions were received from. Of course, Josephine Hughes and Jacob are also their legal practitioners. So these were the strategies that the commission employed in ensuring that they are able to get to the truth of the matter. There were qualitative and quantitative data collected from all 6 petition areas. There's also secondary data from various sources, including the Constitution, books, journal articles, internet sources, and a lot more. Of course, they were required to establish if there was indeed a need for the creation of new regions. That need is going to be determined from a number of factors. A few of them you've heard the voters mentioning, but these are the findings that they had. A spatial extent of existing regions. You heard there one of the voters speaking to Oheming Teria talking about distance from the regional capital. Now, these areas are very far from the respective regional capitals. Now, road infrastructure. You heard the Krachira telling our Ivy Setoji that they have very bad roads compared to the southern parts of the country. That was one of the reasons we are having this referendum. And there are substantial inequalities in road development. Now, the key point here is that it's not that the roads are bad in themselves alone. Compared to other parts of the region, those roads are bad. And there's also access to public services, which of course draws out of the first 2 points. If the roads are bad and the regional capital is far, that means that if, for instance, you want to go to the regional court, you want to go to the regional education directorate, you want to go to the regional hospital, and they will be very far. The passport offices and other essential services, they will be very far from you if you are living in any of these enclaves. All of these are points that the petitioners made initially. The commission's job was to evaluate these points and see if they were indeed true. And these are their findings. There's also economy and employment. Very key points coming out, especially from areas like Western North and the Bono East and Ahafo enclaves, where they talk about the amount of resources that come out. The Bono Ahafo region, for instance, is known to be the breadbasket of the country. So much food products coming out of those areas. There's also the Western North, which is also known a lot for cocoa, and they feel they don't get back what they give because they don't have a region on their own. There's also empowerment and participation, ethnic, cultural and religious issues. Also another key issue that was raised, particularly in places like the Oti Enclave. Now, these are the areas or the districts that are going to be carved out of the Western region if the yes votes win today. Sefiu also is one of the northernmost districts. We have the Swaman a bit more to the west, Bibiani has to be quite municipality, where we have Sefiu and Kontombra, Awin, Bia East, Bia West, Bodi, Samsinehi, NDC MPs districts. They're Jaboso, Kwabra Mita, Kando. They're both of whom have been in support of this Western North idea for a while now. We are going to move on to other parts of the country to see exactly what the new regions will look like if the yes votes win. Oti region, a part that has been known for a lot of controversy in the run-up to this particular referendum. Krachin Chumuru district, which is where Ivy Setoji was reporting from. There's in Kwanta South and North, Krachi West, Krachi East, KJB Jasekan, where Fred Kwame Asare was reporting from there. There's also Biakoye. Our eyes are still on this matter. The referendum, of course, will end at 5 p.m. thereabouts. We are still bringing reports from there. Ahafo, out of the Bronga Ahafo region, is Nafo South and North, is Tutifi South and North, Tano South and North. Tano North and South, of course, are municipalities and not just districts. These are some of the areas that we are going to be bringing you updates from as the days approach.